Welcome everybody to the Coffee with CEO session, and I hope this is our 53rd episode of Coffee with CEO or the session, and I'm really very glad today because I'm having Asim Zia Aslam, who is founder and CEO of WEBDOC. WEBDOC, as far as I know, that online doctors, what they are doing is that they are bringing online doctors to the layman people, to everybody around. So the doctor is accessible to everyone at every time. Am I right, Asim?
That's absolutely right. So basically what WEBDOC is a platform which connects the subscribers with the doctors. So in Pakistan, as you know, there are two main difficulties while people can actually access to the doctors. One is definitely the access to the doctors. As we know, 63% people in Pakistan cannot access to the doctors. And then the second one is affordability, where half the population in Pakistan is basically living less than $2 a day, which is actually lower than the poverty rate. People more fear about putting the bread on the table rather than actually getting access to the basic health care. So what we decided, we are living in a world where in developing countries, Pakistan is right on the top. By using internet, 140 million plus people actually use the phones. More than 50 million people actually use the smartphones. However, they don't have an access to the doctors. So I thought it's much easier for us to actually bring the phones, feature phones and smartphones to a platform where people should be able to actually access the doctor through these devices. So we call ourselves WEBDOC, which is a sort of version of web as a website and then doc as a doctor. But the aim is to bring, doctors in the pocket. So whoever has phone, they should be able to actually access the doctor, and for the price, which is less than a cup of tea for actually somebody. Well, the price is amazing. So say, for example, 20-30 rupees a month. Somebody is actually able 20-30 rupees a month. A month again.
Yes, a month. 20 or 30 Pakistani rupees a month, and then you are able to access to a doctor.
Not only that certain person, but the family. A family of 5-6 people would be able to actually have an access to the doctors on demand whenever they want, just for this.
Remarkable.
Because we want to make it affordable. That's the whole point of it.
Let me get myself registered today. That sounds impressive. Okay.
Yes. So the whole idea is that not only that people should access the doctors, but actually the price they can afford.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can understand people living in KLIs or all these macro cities. They're able to access to the doctor because, every corner you've got a doctor. Now, most of these doctors sitting around here are quite expensive.
They are very expensive.
Once you cross this, urban areas and go towards semi-urban, rural and semi-rural areas, there are no doctors. People struggle to find PMDC, Pakistan Medical and Dental Council certified doctors, and then obviously they go to Hakeems, they go to those
fake doctors,
doctors,
fake doctors,
which are not doctors actually, and then still paying them a huge amount of money. So we thought, okay, when we've got this internet facility, we've got this huge number of subscribers on mobile phones, why can't we provide a call center sort of thing to them so people can actually ring the doctor whenever they want? They can actually access through their voice, chat, or even video calls. So it's as simple as this. Simply download our app or call a simple number, which is 0344 333 737. Subscribe one of our cards, they want to have it, and start using it for as low as 20-30 rupees a month.
Mashallah. Okay, it's not only about the affordability of the doctor, it's about the accessibility of doctors as well. Yes. For example, if I want my doctor appointments, it's either 2 weeks afterwards, or what if in case of emergency, where to go? I don't know.
Exactly.
If I'm going to the government hospitals, then the conditions If I'm going to the private hospitals, then there are the long queues. So thank you so much, Asim. But how this idea came up to you? How come? Coincidence hua?
I was working in a private sector company.
Okay, so in a medical company or in a hospital?
It was in one of the telecoms in Pakistan.
Acha.
And I was responsible to create new business, and I was responsible to actually empower people throughout Pakistan for their basic needs. And I came up with this idea, and one of my very senior guys, he disagreed with the idea. And he thought this is not the good idea to actually reach out to the people. And then I thought, okay, let's take a chance. And I quit my job and I started working with this WEBDOC. The idea
how long time back?
18 months ago. 18 months ago. So exactly 18 months ago, we started this in March 2017. And the beauty of this product was not only that I'm actually now able with my great team to empower people for their healthcare. But also from the very first month, we are actually on a break-even point. So
no, because I was talking to your executive and then he was telling me that you had 1 million subscribers or something.
No, he was wrong.
Okay. No, it was just a talk.
Yes.
2 million. He said we started with 1 million. I guess that was it. So can you please tell us how you got all these 1 million people?
Yes. We, at this point of time, we have 2.1 million active subscriber base. When we say active subscriber base means somebody actually who pays us and then use our services once a month. This is how we describe active customers. Now 2.1 million is most of our customers actually coming from the corporate sector. So we are working as a vast services with different telecommunication, different banks, and they sell their products, but our product goes as a value-added services to them. So for example, one of the private companies, they are actually giving, a local remittance in a very large scale. We are actually part of them. Everybody who actually get their remittance or they send their remittance locally, then they get our services for free for a certain period of time, and so on like this. So this is how we actually scaled ourselves, because I know the power to get to the customers belongs to this telecom industry these days. So they have more subscribers, and they are in the race to provide best services to the subscribers. The companies like us becomes a value-added services for them, and then we can actually reach out to the people. And this is how we actually started. And we have just signed up a huge contract with one of the telcos to onboard 5 million plus base in this 2019. So hopefully by the end of 2019, if we not do anything else, we'll still be hitting more than 10 million base.
So you want to tell the name of the telco?
Yes, that's Telenor.
Oh, wow.
Telenor.
So this means that this web doctor will now be working with Telenor.
Yes, we are.
And will be providing the free doctor, so either free or with the minimum amount, the healthcare services on phone.
That's right. We are working with Telenor and Easy Pesa. It's basically sister companies. So we are working with them. So most of our customers, not most, about 70% of our customers actually belong to them. But they provide different services within the telecom industry. And we are working as a value-added services to their customers. But we're also working with Jazz, we're also working with some banks. We're getting everywhere now. We were working with insurance companies.
Inshallah.
We are scaling up, alhamdulillah.
So can you please tell us that are you at the break-even point, or you are having the profits? What it is?
So we started in 2017 March. So to be specified, 8th of March 2017. At the end of that 2017 March, which is 30th of March, we were on break-even point. So in the
on 30th
of March 2017,
you was at break-even.
We were at break-even.
Wow.
So very first month we were at the break-even point, and ever since, alhamdulillah, we have our revenue for the first year closed just over $1 million, which for this industry with the revenues we are calculating with a small amount is a huge amount. And this year we have actually crossed our last year limits and still have 4 months to go.
4 months left.
So we are looking for a good year. This one as well, inshallah.
So can you please tell me about the product line which you offer with this web doctor?
So I'll explain my product line first of all. So what we provide services in 4 different ways. One, that we provide people access. They can actually simply dial a number, and from that number they can start talking offline to the doctor. So by simply from a phone line, any phone line, they can connect to that call center where the doctor sit down.
Okay.
And then they can also have the information, or they can go straight to the doctors for consultation or prescriptions, whatever. The second mode is they can actually chat with the doctors. If they download the app, which is available on Android and iOS, they would be able to actually start chatting with the doctor, and that's free of course. So anybody can start chatting with the doctors. They don't really have to buy something to actually start.
You just have to download the app and then you can start chatting with the doctor.
Exactly. And the third one is then they can actually start voice calls on the app. So if they have a data and they don't want to spend their money on a normal phone call, they can still use that data or Wi-Fi to actually get connected in the voice call. Then they can also use video call facility on the same app. So these are the 4 methods which we actually use for people to connect to our doctors.
So tell me, what do you think about leadership? You are now handling the doctors and then the long subscriber list. So what do you think about? What's the stance about leadership?
So what I've learned about leadership, if you want to learn, if you want to lead a company, you need to be a leader, and then leader have their own different ways of styles. Everyone has their own style of working. For me, I'm pretty humble because I've never been a businessman. I've never been an entrepreneur. I've been an employee all my life, and I've worked in different segments of life. I've learned that more humble you are, and you can actually lead from the front, that actually makes you a better leader. So for me, you need to be humble, you need to know what you're doing, and you need to know how will actually people start following you. That's the best way of actually becoming a leader. That's what I think.
What is your stance on women empowerment? And number two, you are working with the doctors now. How many female doctors are working with you in terms of percentage?
So overall, our company have 52% women working.
MashaAllah, wow, that's a good number.
I'm a great believer that, especially in Pakistan, people who's going to take your idea away or people who's going to abuse your idea is going to be mostly, unfortunately, men.
Yes.
Women in our society, they're quite humble. They quite love what they're doing. And then they live within their certain limitations of work limitations, basically, to work for you. And then I think that creates a lovely balance between men and women working in the same company if they have equal number of opportunities in the company. I think women, like all our senior positions, from CFO, our CFO is
a female.
She is a female. Our doctor's head, she's also a female. Our call center supervisor, she's also a woman. So it's only Asim Saab who's actually is men. So we have in our doctors, if you go to doctors, overall we've got about 47 doctors which are actually employed by the company. So all our doctors are in-house doctors. So this is
they are staying at home and then they're replying back? No. Or so they're coming to office?
The only difference between us and the rest of our 10 competitors in this industry is that we employ all these doctors. So all these doctors are actually working with us is actually employed by WEBDOC. They actually sit down within our offices.
They have to come to the office.
They have to come to the office.
There is discipline there. No? There are some SOPs to work with.
So the problem is in Pakistan you cannot have an Uber model of doctors, so they can actually sit in their clinics and because then you don't have any control on the quality. So this is the problem. So this is why we thought that we should have doctors in-house. And then this is our duty to ensure that we bring them enough subscribers so they get busy. So they don't have to, they don't have to rush for their patients, or they just don't want to ensure that they provide services so next time patient goes to them. It's a company, they're actually employees. They have to attend all their subscribers regardless whether they are their customers or not. They're actually WEBDOC's customers.
Asim, you was talking about quality control. My next question is, what about the authentication of doctors? Why should we be believing on this web doctor? What are the standards, or how we can be, or the public can be assured that to whoever they are talking is the right person to talk?
Right. So I think this is the major question I face everywhere I go. So authenticity in Pakistan only comes if the doctors are PMDC certified.
Yes.
So if Pakistan Medical and Dental Council certified them as a doctor and authorized them to work.
Totally.
And this is the certification we have. So what we do, one of the main duties for our floor manager, which is Asim Saab, is that he ensures that every single day in the morning, he ensures that all these doctors actually working today in our shift should be registered and certified with PMDC, and the evidence should be online. So PMDC actually provides you an online information. So you can actually put their numbers in and ensure that these people actually work they're actually authorized by PMDC, so they can actually work as a doctor. So this is what we do. And then there is certain criteria we follow. The criteria is very simple. A doctor should be at least 3 years experienced after their house job. Exactly. They qualify to actually become one of our WEBDOCians. So this is the criteria, we follow it very straight. Once they come into the company, we have a training session of 2 weeks. Then they go through with different training sessions. They understand how the system works.
How to listen to the query, how to respond back.
So it's much easier when patients are coming to you, and then you've got different tools to actually measure their heart rate, their blood pressure. It's much easier when somebody is actually coming to you physically. But over the phone or over the video, all these things are not available. So what you have to do is you have to go through a procedure called DD, which is differential diagnostic. Basically, they ask questions to the patient. Patient reply with the symptoms,
and then you have to judge it out.
Then they figure out what is the problem. So that procedure is called as DD. They go through this procedure, and then they start. Then they actually professionally decide whether it is a counseling job, or whether it is a consultation required, or whether they have to actually prescribe the patient. So this is how the procedure.
So do you display your doctor's credentials on the web as well?
Yes, we do. We time and time again, what we do. It's not easy for us. Doctors come and go.
Definitely.
So, because the reason is we are not in a hospital. It's an online digital service. Doctor come to us. They spend a certain period of time with us, and then they have to go back to their practical working hospital. So what we do. So this is a very tough.
You cannot disconnect them from their practical.
So what we do is, this is why we have adopted a very unique way of hiring doctors, and then we try to retain them for a certain period of time. And then we have to let them go and find new doctors. So what we do, we have a procedure going on for this. So no doctors will actually stay with you for 5-10 years. Because the reason is कि उनको अपनी जगह वापस जाना है.
क्योंकि so that they can
उनका experience वहाँ से
exposure जो है ना वो तो उनको फिर by operating and by
so हमने उसके एक procedure
good idea था.
हमने एक procedure
वरना otherwise वो सिर्फ एक वो फिर एक वो telecom doctor रह जाए ना.
वो फिर एक call center agent sort of doctor बन जाएंगे. So इसकी वजह से हमने एक प्रोसीजर अडॉप्ट किया हुआ है. उस प्रोसीजर में हमारे पास एन एक्स अमाउंट ऑफ डॉक्टर्स होते हैं और हम वाई अमाउंट ऑफ डॉक्टर्स को ट्रेन कर रहे होते हैं बैक एंड पे और लेसर सैलरी जस्ट टू इंश्योर कि जैसे ही हमें डॉक्टर की जरूरत पड़े तो हम
How many doctors all together are working with you?
47 at this point.
Mashallah, and they're working in shifts.
They're working different shifts.
So does this mean that now you're not worried for the retention of employees?
No. That's always a worry. I think that's always a worry. This is why we try to give them much better remuneration as compared to the market to ensure that they actually stay as us for a longer period of time. We try to give them all the possible facilities as a small company we can provide to them. So like pick up, drop, different shifts, extra bit of salary, extra bit of perks and stuff like this. Then all these doctors, we know for fact that nobody's going to stay us for a longer period of time because they actually need to go to the hospitals.
They need to go.
Requirement. उसकी वजह से हम क्या करते हैं, हम प्लान करते हैं कि हमारे पाइपलाइन में कितने डॉक्टर
बैक एंड पे आपके. सो दैट मींस इस तरह तो इसका तो मतलब है कि आपकी सक्सेशन प्लानिंग बड़ी स्ट्रांग होती है.
इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अदरवाइज यू ऐसा भी. और आजकल हमारे यंग डॉक्टर्स हैं वो नाराज होना शुरू होते पता भी नहीं लगता. तो हम इंश्योर करते हैं कि हमारे पास इनफ डॉक्टर्स.
अब थोड़े से शॉर्ट. अच्छा, व्हाट डू यू थिंक नाउ यू हैव बीन एम्प्लॉय एंड नाउ यू आर एन एंटरप्रेन्योर. तो आपने अपने साथ के कोलीग्स भी देखे एंड नाउ यू आर लुकिंग एट द वर्कर्स विद यू ना. What do you think? How's the quality of our graduates now? अब बेहतर हैं या आज से 15 साल पहले बेहतर graduates आते हैं?
It's a tough question. So अगर आज से 15 साल पहले बेहतर ना होते तो शायद मैं एंटरप्रेन्योर ना होता. So but there is a difference.
Okay.
There is a difference because 15 साल पहले की स्टडीज और पहले की अपॉर्चुनिटीज डिफरेंट थी.
ठीक है. डन.
आज की स्टडीज और आज की अपॉर्चुनिटीज
बिल्कुल डिफरेंट.
और आज से 15 साल टोटली डिफरेंट कहानी. सो आई थिंक 15 साल पहले आई रिमेम्बर जब आई वाज अ स्टूडेंट it was ACCA, MBA, doctors or engineers.
That's all. These are the four high profile qualifications.
अब अगर आप देखें तो ना सिर्फ टेक्नोलॉजी,
टेक्नोलॉजी,
IT के अंदर सॉफ्टवेयर, हार्डवेयर, नेटवर्किंग, आपके आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एंड सो ऑन. सो अब तो फील्ड ही शायद ये वाली रहेगी है ज़्यादा. सो आजकल के लड़के भी बहुत तेज़ होते हैं. उसकी एक रीज़न ये है कि नाउ दे हैव एन एक्सेस टू द इंटरनेट. सो से फॉर एग्जांपल वन सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर इज नॉट फाइंडिंग अ जॉब इन पाकिस्तान, they would be able to find different projects on the internet. So I think हमने जो एक प्रोग्राम अडॉप्ट किया था, that is हमने जितने भी टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड लोग हायर किए हैं, that is from the universities.
अच्छा.
So we're also a member of ComSearch universities as an employer. So जब भी उनका year end
batch आता है तो फिर then you pick people.
We pick people from there. So हमारे जितने भी टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड लोग हैं ज़्यादातर डिफरेंट यूनिवर्सिटीज से हैं और उन यूनिवर्सिटीज से हमें जो लोग मिले हैं, they have done wonders for us. So हमने we have done everything on our own. From app development, web development, we are also working on artificial intelligence.
अच्छा.
The reason is, for instance, अगर हमारे लोग इकट्ठे डिसाइड कर लें 2 लाख लोग कि हमने आज कॉल करनी है, तो we won't be able to provide services to 47 doctors. So time is not far जब ऐसा लोग करेंगे. जब लोगों को ज़्यादा
more awareness, more exposure.
जैसे WEBDOC के बारे में लोगों को पता चलना शुरू होगा, तो हमारे लिए हार्ड हो जाएगा उन्हें सर्विस प्रोवाइड. So हम उसके लिए भी वर्किंग ऑन एन आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस बेस्ड डॉक्टर, जो हम इंटरनली खुद ही कर रहे हैं. उसका रीज़न ये है कि then this IVR AI system will actually filter the patients down to the doctor. So हमारे पास अगर स्टार्ट में 1 लाख कॉल्स आ रही हैं, तो वो फिल्टर होकर आखिर में हमारे पास 200 कॉल्स बन जाएंगी. दिस इज हाउ वी ट्राइंग टू फिगर आउट, ताकि हम डॉक्टर्स 200-300 ही रखें, लेकिन सब कॉल्स को हैंडल करने के लिए एक आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस सिस्टम लेके आ जाए, उसको फिल्टर आउट करना शुरू कर दें.
Very, very well planned.
Thank you.
So now short questions. How do you control your anger and stress? आप तो 47 doctors and then the number of calls and then so much to do.
Yes.
Does this mean that you, Asim, is an angry young entrepreneur?
No, and not at all. I think I've showed all my anger in all my previous companies where I used to work.
Acha.
On the other side of the table is a different story. I do understand that I do understand when I make a decision in my company, I don't have a huge board on me. I don't have partners or different ventures with me. So solely I'm responsible to make decisions. When I make a decision, it really affects not only that my company, but also that employees or their family's life. So मेरा एंगर जो होता है वो सबसे ज़्यादा I think Asim के ऊपर ही जाता है. Because Asim is
the punching bag.
Is a punching bag. He's been with me ever since I was a kid, and I started learning playing cricket from him.
Acha.
So I know him from over 25 years now. So I think मेरा anger इसी पे जाके खत्म हो जाता है. So I'm not an angry guy at all. I ensure that I have to be very calm to ensure that my company stays calm. All the employees, all the colleagues, all these young people working in my company should be as calm as possible, because that's the only way forward.
How do you maintain work-life balance then?
Yes, that's hard. I mean, it's hard to actually convince women that actually men work really hard.
Really hard.
But my wife, she also works as a CPO in our office.
Acha, chalo, that's
so
great.
most of the time she's around my table. So when we go home, we try to spend time with my son. So that's what we do. So it's not bad. I mean, my house and my office is not too far. My wife's always with me. My son joins me 5 o'clock. So we enjoy our time.
So you worked as you was doing a job before. Now you are an entrepreneur, and apparently you are going more towards success. Can you define success in 3 words or 3 sentences? आपके साथ और भी बेतहाशा लोग होंगे.
I think it's only one
Why
word.
you? And if you, what are the 3 key words that define success for us?
So number 1 is passion. So whatever you do, for me, you need to be really passionate about it. If you're not passionate, then you're not going to do this. Hard working, so you have to work hard.
Very hard.
That's very important. And I think success just comes through it. You just need to be passionate. If you're passionate in your work, it will eventually come to you. Simple. That's what I believe.
What is your idea of happiness?
Happiness really comes to you with your family, I think. So after working all day, if I have a very good smile of my son, I think that makes my day. Simple.
Do you read books? Do you want to recommend any book?
Not really. I'm not a big fan of reading books.
Acha.
The reason being, for the last few years, I really didn't get any time for books. However, I really go on the internet a lot. I try to find out stories for the successful people. I love reading things. For example, the successful people say. Jack Ma is one of my most
is inspiration for so many people. Yes.
Guys. So I spend most of my time to find out how you can be more successful, and if you're successful, well, certainly how to become number 1. That's my, I think, most time spent on these things.
Do you want to give any message to youth and the young people of Pakistan.
Yes.
Everybody and whoever is working want to be an entrepreneur.
Yes, I think
shortcuts बहुत लोग चाहते हैं. क्या message देंगे आप हमारी?
There is no shortcut in life. This is what I believe. I've tried myself for 14 years that I wasn't successful, so I went back onto the proper path. I got success from that. I think entrepreneurship is the future. अगर आप कुछ करना चाहते हैं, so jobs, हम जितनी भी स्टडीज़ करते हैं, अनलकीली हमारी एजुकेशनल सिस्टम ऐसा है कि हम जब भी स्टडी करते हैं, वी ओनली डू स्टडीज टू इंश्योर कि हमें अच्छी जॉब मिल जाए. नो वन इन पाकिस्तान आई बिलीव हम इसलिए स्टडी नहीं करते कि हम कुछ एंटरप्रेन्योर बन सकें, हम किसी तरीके से कुछ बिजनेसमैन बन सकें, किसी तरीके से कुछ अच्छी इनोवेशन लेके आ सकें. सो आई थिंक आज जो पाकिस्तान में 2-3 साल से जो एक हवा चल पड़ी है
इनोवेशन और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की,
डिजिटलाइजेशन की, क्रिएटिविटी की, दिस इज द राइट टाइम. So all those people who are actually between the age of 25 and 35, I think they have the best chance. Anybody who's over 35, they'll actually settle down in their own fields. However, between 25 and 35, where all the youth is, I think this is the right time to find out कि पाकिस्तान में कुछ भी digitalized नहीं है. So you need everything to be digitalized. आपने हर चीज़ को बेहतर करना. I think this is the right time. If you get towards entrepreneurship, you will be more successful than actually going into the jobs. I think this is my message. So, be passionate, be motivated, and ensure that whatever you do, you put really good efforts in it and you'll be successful.
Thank you, Asim. Thank you for the beautiful message and thank you for coming to Management House. आपको Management House कैसा लगा?
Wonderful. I'm just surprised because मैंने LinkedIn से इसको follow करना शुरू किया.
अच्छा, okay.
And I started liking it कि यहाँ पे आप लोग सिर्फ सक्सेसफुल और टॉप टियर ही को नहीं बुलाते. Exactly. So you're actually supporting people like me, people like WEBDOC, companies like WEBDOC and so many others to ensure कि हमारी साउंड भी दूर तक जा सके. And then see there are potential for doing everything. So I think this is one of the best initiatives you guys have taken.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.